Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, the Rumpled One. And right now, because of all the action in the news, my computer's running a little bit slow. But it is Thursday, August the 27th, and the year's 2020. Let's talk trading. Trading what you see. And I've got Walmal on the line. So,
Good day, fellow traders. Hopefully you've had a profitable day. And if you haven't started trading yet, you will have a profitable day.
yeah, and just remember, these videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine and Walmal's. Trading is extremely risky. You can lose all of your money. If you need trading, investment, or financial advice, seek the advice of an accredited financial professional. And always remember, never forget to have your risk management in place. Never lose more on any one single trade than you are willing to lose. So, Walmal, when we talk about trading, what you see, it's kind of funny because we'll be looking at the same pair on the same time frame, but because we have different brokers, what you see and what I see are two different things.
Yeah, they can move, be a little bit different, and it's and sometimes it's sort of like especially if we're talking on the phone and we happen to be trading at that point in time. A lot of times, like, what are you seeing? What are you crazy? And it's sort of like we were just looking at a few minutes ago. I think where did market open up for you for the day? Where did it open up for me? And there was a difference. Like I recall something like 14 or 14.
I think it's like 10 pips. Like right now,
yeah.
it's 10 pips below my daily open. What's yours?
Right now, I am sitting here. I took that indicator off, so I don't know. I have to go measure it, which is pretty silly. But I'm sitting right now 24 pips below my open.
Okay.
So, that's a big difference.
And what's your daily range? I'm at 121.
Actually, that we're pretty close. I'm at 120. That
Okay.
we're actually pretty close on.
Right.
Because we both hit extremes, so that's why on both ends.
Right.
But again, at the same time, you look at the H4 candle. My candle is 2 hours earlier than your candle.
Right. That's why we look at we talk about the hourly range, not the H4 range.
Right. I look at the H4 range because, hey, if it's moved a big bunch, I don't want to get in front of a steamroller. But at the same time, I don't put too significance as to that opening on it. I look more of what's the range of the entire candle, because that's more important to me than the actual opening of it and the close of it. Just because I know out there every broker has that candle starting at a different time, so it's not as significant.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking at the chart you look at because I've got your template, the Walmal DSR template. Well, Pound just pounded down, and it was funny. We were on the phone right before the Fed chairman spoke, and I said, "Hey, he's speaking." It's like, what's he saying? What's going on? And we watched price go up, and I said, I think it's coming back to 50. And Walmart said it's going to 3,200, and we were both right.
Yeah, we were both wrong. I mean, man, I wish it would have. I know you took a trade at the top of that. I didn't take the trade.
Yeah, I took a trade at 60 something, and I said, well, I know it's going to 50, and I punched out right around 50, and I've just left about what? Let's see, 50 plus 20 pips on it. That's 70 pips. That's a pretty big, pretty big tip. But then again,
hey, sometimes you just got to look at it and you say, you know what? I got my 10. I'm happy.
Yeah, so it was like the green rats feasted, then the red rats feasted. So
exactly, and it's funny because like right now, where price is oscillating back and forth, is kind of the range that it was in last hour that it was ranging in. So it's kind of funny. You had that huge move up right at the end of the end of the last hour / the beginning of this new hour or the current hour, and you know, it ran, you know, you think about it, it ran all the way up from that, all the way up. It ran, you know, 85 pips up, and it just ran, you know, 85 pips back down, so or 90 pips back down, and so you go back in the middle of that ranging that occurs there, and that's what the market does.
Right.
You know, it ranges for a while, and it'll run away from it, and a lot of times it'll run right back to it.
Yeah.
So
here's something interesting.
You know,
Yesterday's range on my chart for the daily was 102 pips. This hour's range is 102 pips.
Yeah, I got the same numbers. It's just unbelievable. You know, all this movement that happened here. You know, and it's funny because you had asked me, you know, at the beginning of this hour, did you get in on that trade? And I said, nope. And the reason why is because I had already made my money for the day, and it's sort of like I just didn't want to take the chance of losing it, but I wish I would have now.
Yeah, that's the old what? That's what?
Regret of missing out. Again.
Yeah, you're Romo. You're doing some. I think we're both doing a little Romo right now.
You know, but you know, it's still for me anyway. For today was a fantastic day trading. So I can't be. You know, I'm missing this and I'm laughing at the same time because I had a great day. You know, and you know, a great day can be. You know, I made more pips than I would normally make in over a week in one day, just because of market moves. And you know, I'll put it in a sacrilegious way. You know, and the market gods went and smiled on me. You know, on my trades. I had like 4 or 5 trades that are all winners except for one. You know, and so I did very, very well today. But man, it would have been nice to go and pocket, you know, even, you know, think about it, 80 pips up, 80 pips down, that's 160 pips. If I could have just gotten, you know, 20% of it, that would have been another 32 pips I could have stacked on today.
Right. But you notice really it's interesting here because, you know, when we talk about trading what you see, in the last 5-minute bar or candle, it actually came down to the open low. When we're doing the holo trades, it bounced right there, and it was like at the edge of the smart rat zone, and it's now bounced up 15 pips from that area.
Yep, and that line, you know, that line is significant. I know I trade it a little bit differently than you do, but yeah, it's a significant line. So you trade what you see. You know, same thing on a 5-minute chart, probably not very tradable, you know, but price is price. But on a 1-minute chart, it makes it very, very clear. You can see that it hit that line, and man, you just jump in on that trade on the 1 minute. You had a 3-ball on that, you know, using that ZZ top indicator that you have, you know, and man, you could have easily picked up 10 pips, you know, without even thinking about it.
You got a 3-ball on that M5?
No, on the 1 minute. I said,
oh,
you
1 minute.
To the 1 minute, you see it.
Oh, okay.
You know?
Let's switch over to the 1 minute. Except my computer is so slow. Let's see how long it takes. No, there we go. Yeah, there is a 3-ball right there on that.
You know, you see that 3 balls popping up right there.
Right.
And you see price stall at that line.
Right.
That's a place to jump in. That's, you know, now honestly, I'd probably look at that and say that's a 2 to 3 pip skip scalp. Just grab it. You tend to go and stay in that trade longer than I do, you know. But I just look at it. That's a scalp trade. Just grab your 3 pips and be happy, you know.
Right.
You tend to go and try to get a little bit more off of it, and so you would have piled on a bunch more than I would have gotten. But that's just trading what you see.
Yeah,
you
and
know?
so this is kind of instructional here for the boys and girls and non-binary traders out there. So we had a 3-ball here at the bottom, okay, and then this dot right here, that's the mid dot. So price opened above the mid dot. So for me, I usually would jump in right here. For Walmal, he wants to see price break this high. So right here, basically at 31.90, you'd be going long. And then you can see it actually broke over the 1.32 double O mark. So there was an opportunity there to pick up at least 10 pips and had a high of 0.3. So that's a 13 pip opportunity right there.
Yeah, it would have been nice. And the nice thing about that trade right there was it would have been a no sweat trade. You know, it's just it never went against you. It just went up on you and just You know, I like trades like that. They don't happen very often, but when they
Right.
happen, man, they feel awfully good.
Yeah, and then if the traders out there wondering what these socks and caps are, this is basically showing you've got a higher high and then a lower high. So it's basically a 1, 2, 3, higher high, lower high. And here on the sock part, you've got a higher low, lower low, higher low. So it puts a sock on it. You see right here, as soon as this candle opens, you know, because it opened below here, it got a sock. And then as soon as it pushes up, that sock will go away. So some people go, oh, it's repainting. No, it's updating dynamically is what it's doing.
Exactly, and it's what we're doing is, you know, the way you trade and the way I trade is we're trading price movement. That's what we're trading. So it's more important to know what it's doing right now as opposed to what it did in the past.
Exactly.
It's nice to know that, you know, it's nice to know, hey, it struggled at 32.10, you know, or 32. It looks like it struggled at 32.08. Okay, well, that's nice to know. It's going to run up there and it may have some struggles. And what that tells me, it doesn't tell me to get out of the trade. What it tells me is when it gets there, pay attention to what price is doing, because price is going to do, you know, one of two things. It's either going to go and be rejected at that, so like it did in the past, or it's going to bust through it.
Right.
Now, it may take a couple candles to bust through it, but it's going to bust through it, or it's going to be rejected.
Right.
And so looking to the left for me is I look to the left, okay, that's a point of interest. That's a place where I need to pay attention, and I'm either going to, you know, continue in my trade or I'm going to get out. And so I look at it a little bit differently than some other traders may look at that.
Right. And right here, I think I might have mentioned this before. This is where you say I'm a little more conservative in my exits. Here, a couple M1 candles ago, that one ball appeared. So let's just say if I had jumped in at the 00 and all of a sudden, boom, I see that one ball, I would have been out of that trade, because as you can see it reversed. And that's usually what happens to, you know, to me. I say it's to me, but when I'm trading, you know, it's all about me because it's just me, my portfolio, you know. But the other thing is, and this is something, you know, Walmal, you were kind of sitting back and really quiet when I was doing that that replay challenge. And there was something else that I realized is that I'm doing my market analyzation real time right now, as opposed to, you know, before I put the trade on, I mark up my exits, my entries, and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no, everything we do is, that's why I call it dynamic, because it's changing, you know, just like here, it went from a 1 ball to a 2 ball. And then look at what happened. Boom, it turned right around.
And that's not to say that we're lazy and we don't do analysis, because we do analysis, but we do a different type of analysis. Our analysis is to figure out statistically, what does it do when it goes and reaches this particular set of conditions? And is there enough, statistically, is there enough opportunity for us to go and take a trade there or to exit a trade there, whatever it may be?
Right. And so
that's
like
where our analysis comes in.
Yeah, and like,
you know,
and it's sitting right here on these smart ranges. I mean, we're looking at what's going on. And earlier in the day, what was that range? Wasn't the daily range? What did I say? It was like 70 or something at the time.
It was like 70, 71, something like that.
And that was before price ran up, big. And let's see.
And now we're sitting. You know, our range right now is at 120 pips.
Right.
You know,
and so, yeah, so right about here, if I remember correctly, let's see if I can, my computer's running slow, so I'm not able to do that because there's so much data coming in, and this is just an I3, and I've got all the in the market window, I've got all the pairs and oil and metals, so there's just too much data coming in for this computer to handle it. But right here you can see the range was only about 60-70 pips, and I'm sitting there going, you know, we know price has to range, and boom, it sure did. But you know,
it took off.
Yeah, and you know what, the fastest 15 minutes in trading has just about gone by. So fellow traders, you've got to trade what you see, because it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So go out there and drain the banks. And remember to subscribe and hit the like button. And if you have any questions, go ahead and ask it down in the comments and we'll get back to you. TheRumpledOne, over and out.